Well, we come back here to training camp at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. And, Brock, I'm generally wrong. I think we know that. I'm wrong often.
So much so that I think George is like, how are these two suckers still here?
I think he's probably pretty surprised. But, yes, I've often been very, very wrong. We don't need to go through a list of all the things I've been wrong about, but we just wouldn't have enough time to go to go through it. But one thing I was right on. The first time I laid eyes on undrafted tackle from Kentucky, Western Kentucky,
yeah.
George Fant, I said, that guy looks like an NFL player to me, and obviously I should be a scout because I got that one right. Here he is all these years later, back with the Seahawks. It's nice to see you.
Hey, thanks, man. Happy to be here.
If I remember, 9 years ago in 2016, you didn't know which room to go to. I think we talked to you, actually,
right.
and you were like,
do I
go to the tight end room? Do I go to the O-line room? What am I here with these Seattle Seahawks?
Nah, most definitely. That was definitely true, man. I tell that story a lot, like just how they pulled me up to the front office and kind of had me sitting there waiting to see what room I was going to go to. So
I'm looking at you now.
Definitely didn't know.
You look like a tackle.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much doubt which room you're in now.
Years later.
You kind of look like a tackle to me. What has this journey been like all the way through from undrafted free agent time here, New York, Houston, back here? Just what have you learned through the journey?
Man, it's been incredibly humbling, man. Just situation of coming here as a pup and learning from a lot of great leaders, and then being able to go and spread that.
Like who?
It's the list, man. Russ for sure. Sherm, Cam, a lot of those guys was on that was LOB. Just a lot of guys in this building, man. Just kind of spread that leadership culture. And then, the main thing when I went to New York was just like it was just different, man. Like it was just the way I thought, the way I practiced, the way I did everything was so much different. So just that thing, man, just going and learning and going out and like it's kind of like I went out and experienced the world, just try different things, play different positions, play different places, and then a full circle moment is to come back here and be back home.
Yeah, and then you and your wife and now your fourth child come back to Seattle and everything's the same, right? I mean, Pete's there, the staff is the same.
Crazy, right?
Nothing's really changed here, has it?
Yeah. Nah, man, but honestly, I laugh about it, but it really feels the same, man. Like it really does. Honestly, there's the new head coach, and the coaching staff is different, but the front office is pretty much intact, and a lot of people that was here when I left, they're still here. So a lot of the stuff feels pretty similar, but there's obviously mixed in with some new things and scheme and the way they do their things here, and even the phrases that they talk about on a day-to-day basis. They're a little different. So I'm definitely enjoying and happy to be back here.
That's Big George Fant joining us here from Seahawks training camp this morning in the rain, no less. Offensive line philosophy when you were here versus offensive line philosophy here now, similarities or differences?
A little different, man. I just think that the room also is different too. Like you look back then, it was capture the edge, run, and it's a little different now. It's still mixed with that, but I think even around the league that's kind of dying down. It's straight downhill now, So just the bodies in the room are a little different. Those things are, I think, the main thing that's kind of stick out to me, but definitely changed a little bit.
Does it feel like you have two O-line coaches? I've talked to Salk a lot about this. George was a former Husky way back when, I think before you were born, and had been around that program a long time. And watched Ryan Grubb last year practice alongside Scott Huff. Really, he's an O-line background guy. He was an O-line coach himself. Does it in some ways feel like you have two O-line coaches in the building?
Man, honestly, I think Scott does a good job of kind of like filling that role. Grubbs doesn't really come in and like step on toes or come in there and do a lot of stuff, but you can see the background in it. Obviously, like whenever we talking about stuff and the lingo of certain things, and you can hear Grubb like right there, understanding that what we're talking about. So I could definitely see that. I actually just found out about that too. So but you definitely can tell that he has that background.
On paper, nationally, et cetera, the offensive line is not expected to be one of the best in the league. Being in that room, being around the guys, being out on the field with them, why is that perception wrong?
Honestly, I think that I would like that. I want you to think that we're not going to be good and come in here and think that we're not going to be, a good offensive line. You don't want to. It's cool to have the praise and the rest of the stuff and all that stuff is cool, but I think the journey there is the best part. Like, when you just nobody thinks you're gonna be good and the offensive line is young and offensive line is this, and then you come out and it's not as expected. I think it kind of makes it a little bit more sweeter. But I think those guys in that room, me coming in and looking from the outside in before and being here now, you could just see the growth from the stuff I watched on film from the last couple of years to what we're seeing now in training camp. So I'm excited for the world to see a lot of these young guys in their third and second year, stuff like that. So I think those guys are going to be really good players across the board, and I'm excited to get out there and show it.
One of the things that I love about training camp is watching, I think most people do, the one-on-ones with the O-line, D-line. I think it's great, all these 7-on-7 and OTAs and all this good stuff, but put the pads on. Let's get some pass rush. We have seen a lot of intensity through the years in that
You
drill.
didn't get O-line, D-line today? One-on-one?
I always say, man, one-on-ones, this is where the truth is told, Yeah, you can't hide in. There's no running around. There's no can't grab onto certain things. And then for offensive linemen, there's no don't bull rush me because you don't have pads on. Like, the truth is told then. Where you are and where you stand at that time. And it's not a bad thing. It's honestly a good thing to just kind of know where you stand and know what you need to work on. So it's a good opportunity to do that. But yeah, today's the day for that.
You remember your first Truth is Told one-on-one session?
I do, man. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I never really talked about this before, but I was so nervous because I never did a one-on-one before, until I got here. And Tom Cable was showing us what the one-on-ones look like here and how we do things. And I seen Mike B run through somebody, bro, and put him on their back. And I was like, bro, I can't let that happen to me, bro. I can't let that happen to me, man. And, back then I was light. I was 290, so I could move, but setting down power wasn't my strong suit. So, but I do remember. I don't think I won my first two offensive.
Do you know who it was against?
I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was Frank or one of those guys, man. But I don't think I won those, man. But looking back, man, just going against them dudes every day, man, was the reason why I am who I am now, man. That you look at that defensive line and the edge and. In particular, who I had to practice against every day on the, not on the practice squad, but on the B team, is the reason why I got better and better and better so fast. Because if I could block them, then I should be able to block anybody.
290. Then what are you now?
I'm about 318, 320, somewhere around there.
And that's 30 pounds of mostly muscle.
Yeah,
mostly.
Yeah, mostly.
a
little bit of wing somewhere in there.
How about these edge guys now? I know you got to run. Last question for you. The edge guys you're going to face today. When you drop into those one-on-ones, what have you learned about them?
Yeah, I think it's still I'm still learning. A lot of those guys I've only seen on film. I played a few of them. I played DT and Chunna before. Two really good players, different style. But definitely excited to see how things go today when the pad's on, and we're definitely going to be able to answer some questions for them, and they can answer some questions for me. So
pretty cool.
Truth is told. Truth is told.
Yeah, truth is told.
We're going to miss you going in motion and reporting as eligible and all that, but it sounds like you found a home as a tackle, and it's great to see you back here at home in Seattle. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, man. Happy to be here.
All right,
Thanks
there you go. There's Big George Fant, one of our longtime